Hi everyone, my name is Raquel Garcia, and this is a short presentation on ArcIQ. So ArcIQ was originally designed to be a field companion for welder fabricators, and for welding students, I believe it would be an extremely valuable resource. They would be able to use it both while they are learning in school, practicing in the shop, all the way to eventually working in the field. So, as I said before, my name is Raquel, and I've been a welder for over 10 years now and fabricating for about 5. And ArcIQ really came from my own experience in the field. I found myself constantly looking for the same types of information. So starter settings on a new welding machine, or working on a new project, or learning more about metallurgy, conversions from imperial to metric, from fraction to decimals, or even trying to find information on safety when it came to new processes that I didn't know, or machinery that I had never worked with. So I was constantly researching, looking through multiple sources, since I couldn't find any one app or one place that had everything that I needed. I ended up writing things in multiple notebooks, or in my phone, or eventually on my helmet. So that is how ArcIQ was born. It was really created to help solve that issue. So welding school gives students the knowledge that they need to get started. But once they enter into the workforce, they're really expected to recall all of that information quickly and to be able to make solid, confident decisions in the moment. So that's where ArcIQ comes in. It really helps to bridge that gap by giving them a resource that they can keep with them at all times. So as of today, ArcIQ currently has more than 18 tools in the app, and they're all organized around 4 main things that welders and fabricators do every day. So from calculate and layout, we have multiple fabrication and fraction calculators in the app, along with an abundance of formulas at their disposal. Then to set up in welding, we have weld setting calculators, depending on your process and material, along with multiple charts and infos on electrodes. When it comes to identifying and verifying, we have a whole section on metallurgy, along with things such as weld symbols and reference guides. And ultimately, working safely, we are absolutely in abundance when it comes to safety in the app, making sure that the user has all of the information on all types of safety that they would need to know in any workspace. So the goal is to make common shop questions simple. So you enter your measurements, you run the calculation, and you instantly get a usable answer that you can take right back to the job. And it also accounts for differences between materials. What works for one metal doesn't necessarily apply to the other. And the app clearly helps to explain that to the user. So they are definitely taking common questions that a person would have and making it easy and accessible. ArcIQ doesn't stop being useful when a student earns their certificate. And as anyone in the trades knows, there's only so much that you can learn in a school setting. So as a student moves into the field, they're going to encounter new materials, new procedures, and challenges. And ArcIQ can continue to be a reference they grow with throughout their career. So ArcIQ will help them every single step of the way. ArcIQ and Where Trades Go serve two different but complementary purposes. So Where Trades Go helps students make the transition into employment, while ArcIQ supports them once they're actually doing the work. So together, hand in hand, these two can help a student become completely equipped in every way, making sure that they're as prepared as possible as they're leaving this school setting. Our goal isn't for ArcIQ to be something that students just receive on graduation day and forget about. We want it to become part of their training from the beginning, introduced in the classroom, branded for the school, and improved through instructor and student feedback. ArcIQ is still growing. It's already grown just over the past week. We are not finished, and we definitely don't want to be. We are committed to continuing to add tools, information, and improvements that make it more useful for the people actually using it. Our goal is simple: to give the next generation of welders the strong, credible resource I wish I had when I first got into the trades. So I hope this presentation was able to give you a brief overview of the app. And now on the next slide, you'll be able to see a very short demo on what the app looks like when actually in use. So enjoy. So this is ArcIQ. As soon as you open it up inside of the app, you see the very first thing that pops up is the fraction calculator. I know for me, it happens so often when you have to convert fractions into decimal inside of a shop. So that's the beauty of this calculator, is that you can input mixed numbers, whole numbers, and the result will always give you a simplified mixed number fraction and also its decimal equivalent. So very quick, very easy for working inside of a shop. My number one favorite thing about the app is the weld settings section here. You input whatever information is needed when it comes to setting up your machine. So you pick your base metal, you choose exactly what alloy or type it is that you're working with. You chose the transfer mode, you choose the welding process itself, you answer all the questions about what kind of position you're welding in, your thickness of material, your thickness of wire or electrode that you're using. And when you go to calculate the settings, it immediately pops up. It gives you a really good range, a starting point for what your machine settings should be, and even gives you the polarity, stick out, and helpful details as to how to run a decent bead in the position that you just picked for yourself. And if this is something that you do often, you can add these settings to your favorites, and that way it'll be saved right up here at the top. So that way, even if you jump around, do other things, close out the app, you will always have that saved in your settings box if you wanted. There's so many good features to the app. We've got a rise run angle calculator that is amazing in fabrication for things like railings, gates, stairs, frames, braces. We have a filler rod section where it gives you information about filler material. We've got a metal guide that's like a metallurgy reference bar that you can learn about common and uncommon metals and materials. We even have a safety section that helps to answer common safety questions or safety habits that you should have when doing multiple different types of welding or fabrication. And over here on the tools bar on the side, you can see the full catalog of what this app has to offer. Lens tint chart, tungsten guide, symbols, welding joints and positions, where you can click on the joinery and it shows you exactly what that joint is and where it's most common, pointers to know when doing joints like this. Really great for students and beginners who are coming inside of the trade. It's just the tip of the iceberg. There's even a whole section on pipe. And at the very end, there's even a section where you can contact us. For those who have the app and they have their own feedback as to what they would like to see inside of the app, they can tell us their suggestions and we will get it and possibly add it on into the app. This is just the beginning of it. I'm constantly checking and seeing what else I can add to make this app even better and more mainstream. And if you would like to see this app for yourself on your phone, I'm going to include a QR code at the end of the presentation. That way you can scan it and see how the app looks for yourself.